Hello and welcome back to Art's Bookshelf Odyssey. And I wanted to share a couple of mysteries I've read this past month that I wanted to recommend. They're very, very different from each other. One's kind of a closed room type thriller, and the other is a cozy mystery. All right, let's take a look at these two. The first one I'll talk about is Dead Mile by Jo Furniss, if I pronounce her name right. I know I heard about this book on BookTube, and I can't remember who it was who shared it. But whoever it was, thank you for sharing it, because I read it and it was fantastic. This story follows a policewoman in England, and she is thinking about retiring. She's had some tragedies happen in her past. She's tired. She's seen a lot. She's just ready to call it quits. And on her way back from the airport, she gets into a traffic jam. And where this traffic comes to just a standstill. And where she's at, there's these giant walls on both sides. And it's not really a tunnel, but they have tall sides on either side. So it's a very closed off area of the road. And the traffic just comes to a complete stop. Turns out there was a terrorist attack that happened that stopped traffic. There's a threat of maybe another car bomb being even in her area. But that's all like background to the story. And while she's waiting for the traffic jam to clear up, it's going to be hours before the cars even start moving again. She realizes that the car off close by her, the driver is dead. So she gets out and investigates quickly, realizes he's not just dead, he's been murdered. Right there in the middle of traffic, in the middle of a traffic jam. It wasn't by a gun, so it wasn't like a sniper or something. It was very much had to have been a close contact killing. And I'll spare the details. You have to read it. It is fantastic. So she has like 3 or 4 hours to try to solve this mystery, gathering all the people around, knowing that the murderer is probably in the midst because nobody saw anybody running off. Nobody saw it happen. And everybody is obviously a suspect. And on top of that, the crowd that she's trying to control is getting a little restless, get a little rowdy because, like I said, there's a terrorist attack that happened. They think one of the cars might be carrying a car bomb. You've got some people who don't want a police officer checking out their car for a variety of reasons. So there's plenty of red herrings. And then the final resolution is very satisfying. And for, I would say, 95% of the novel takes place right there in that one setting. And the author does such a good job of building the tension on that. And the main character is just one of those delightfully broken characters that you are just rooting for, that she can at least have this one final victory in her career. And whether or not she will continue on as a police officer, or if her past doesn't come back to haunt her, and someone in the crowd there knows what her past is and is threatening to tell others so that they will stop trusting her. It's just, it's so good. It reminds me of a kind of a book that Agatha Christie would write if she were writing in modern times. So if you like that kind of locked room mystery, definitely give this book a try. It had me really tearing through the pages while it was on my Kindle, wearing my battery out on my Kindle, flipping through pages, trying to think about who did it and how they did it and why they did it. It all plays in together in the big overall question also is, does this tie in with the terrorist attacks or not? And how does it tie in? So good. Very, very good. One of the best mysteries I've read this year. And then the second novel I read, the second mystery, is a book called Grounds for Murder, and it's by Tara Lush. And this is book 1 in the Coffee Lovers Mystery series. And I believe this book was recommended to me on the Beach Bum Bookworms channel. I think I should keep better track of these things, but she over there, she loves cozy mysteries and has recommended some good ones. This one turned out to be one of the best cozy mysteries I've ever read. That surprised me because I was actually not expecting to love it as much as I did. First of all, the things that had against it takes place in a coffee shop, which I love coffee shops, and I even love mysteries, the cozy mystery coffee shop. But one of the problems with those is that they often tend to get very snobby, about how they like their coffee, and I understand that. But I'm more of a plain guy. Like, I just want a cup of black coffee. I'll be happy. Although I like a mocha, I like putting some cream and sugar in my coffee sometimes, but usually it's just, make it black and don't burn it, and I'll be happy. So sometimes that kind of snobbery comes into the stories, as much as I love the setting, but I understand that really is part of the culture. It also takes place in Florida, which is, I'm sorry for those who live in Florida, but that's not really a state I've ever had any desire to visit. It's mostly because I'm not a fan of hot, humid weather. But the author, Tara, she makes the town, it's a small town called Devil's Beach. It's on an island off the coast of Florida. And it just sounds like a wonderful vacation spot that you can just go sit on the beach, enjoy the fresh air, the ocean sounds, a good cup of coffee, and try to avoid getting murdered. But her main character, Lana Lewis, had just been fired or let go from her job as a journalist in Malibu, I believe it was. So she's gone back to her home in Devil's Beach to start running her mom's coffee shop. Her mom had just recently passed away. Now, for me, Lana Lewis, the main character, she and the narrator, I read, this was an audiobook. And the lady who read, let me get her name because she was really good. The narrator's name is K. Marie Danino, I believe. And she just brought such a perkiness, a joy to the role as the narrator that I haven't fallen in love with a character in a long time, but she had me smitten. Okay. Just her chipperness, her cheerfulness in the story, the way she narrates it, I guess, definitely kudos goes to the author, but then the narrator's able to take what the author wrote and just really make it come to life. This is a book I am so glad I read first as an audiobook, because I'm not sure I would have enjoyed it quite as much just by reading it. There are a couple lines that felt like if you read them on the page, or if I read them on the page, it would come across as being really kind of maybe a little cheesy, or it would be easy for me to misconstrue how it was to be read. But the narrator, she understood the character so well that everything from the way she talked, the baby talked to her dog, to which was constantly throughout, which I loved, to how she swooned over the hunky police officer that she was investigating with, to some of the other challenges she faces in the story. It was just so well done on all those levels. So basically what the mystery is about is that the main character's co-worker, he's a very popular barista. He has an argument with Lana, so he quit without notice and started working for a competitor. They had an argument in public, and of course the next day he's found dead. And the mystery goes from there. The mystery was fine. It was great. It had me guessing till the end, and I love how the mystery itself really worked well with the title. You wonder, not only was the title a pun on coffee, but you ever wonder if there are grounds to murder somebody. This guy definitely, no, well, people were crying about his death, but as a reader, you probably won't be, which is how it should be in a cozy, right? But that's book one, and so far there's 4 books out, and I'm definitely going to be reading these over the next year. And again, I'll be doing that. I'll make a point to try to get them on audio because, like I said, the narrator just was a fantastic reader. And, her dad was another great character. He's on, he has to take medical marijuana. So often throughout the book, he's just really high. That's kind of funny, but yeah, just overall, it's a cozy mystery. This one certainly on some level doesn't break the mold, as far as your typical cozy goes, but that's okay. A lot of times we read a cozy wanting to expect that familiarity, but what really like I said, accelerates this book or elevates this book above the others is the characters, especially Lana Lewis. All right, so yeah, those are two mysteries I've read recently that I thought would make a good pair for this reading wrap up video. But yeah, let me know if you have any good mysteries you'd recommend. Any good cozies. I love a good cozy mystery, so let me know down below. And links if you wanted to check out those books. Those links are in the show notes as well. Until next time, happy reading, everyone, and take care.